You know this feeling. The gnawing silence. The way your voice echoes in empty rooms. You speak your truth. They don't hear it. They don't want to hear it. It's a special kind of pain. To be seen but not understood. To exist but feel invisible. They look past you, through you, as if you're just another shadow in their perfect picture. Your efforts, your sacrifices, your very soul laid bare. And for what? For polite nods? For dismissive smiles? For the deafening roar of indifference? This isn't just about being overlooked. It's about being deliberately erased. Your contributions minimized. Your intentions twisted. Your character assassinated in hushed whispers and blatant lies. They build their narratives on your foundations. They wear your triumphs as their own. And you're left picking through the wreckage of your own life. This deception, it's a poison. It seeps into your bones. It erodes your spirit. It whispers doubts into the deepest parts of your being. Are you enough? Are you even real? Or are you just a figment of their convenient imagination? The critics, oh, the critics, they gather like vultures, circling, waiting, ready to descend. They dissect your every move. They magnify your flaws. They invent sins you never committed. Their words are barbs, sharp, cruel, designed to keep you down, to keep you small, to keep you silenced. They feast on your pain. They thrive on your despair. They want to see you crumble, to watch you break. Because your existence, your potential, your raw, unvarnished truth, it threatens them. It exposes their own hollowness, their own carefully constructed facades. You fought this battle before. The lonely nights, the tears shed in secret, the crushing weight of knowing the truth, and knowing they'll never admit it. They'd rather live in their manufactured reality, a reality where they are the heroes, and you are the villain. Or worse, the footnote. But beneath the layers of hurt, beneath the scars of betrayal, something is stirring. A fire. It's been smoldering, waiting, fed by every injustice, every lie, every moment of silent suffering. This isn't just a personal war. This is a cosmic reckoning. The scales are tipping. The veil is thinning. The truth once hidden in the shadows is beginning to claw its way into the light. And it's not gentle. It's a force, a tidal wave. They thought they had you contained. They thought they had you defeated. They built their castles on your broken pieces. They celebrated their victory while you bled. But they underestimated you. They underestimated the power of a soul that refuses to be extinguished. The deception is unraveling, thread by thread. Their lies are fraying at the edges. Their carefully crafted illusions are shattering into a million pieces. And in that chaos, your truth emerges. Unscathed, uncompromising, undeniable. Feel it, the shift, the tremor beneath your feet, the wind changing direction. It's the sound of their empire crumbling, the sound of their power dissolving, the sound of justice finally waking up. Your critics, they will rage, they will deny, they will grasp at straws, but their words are empty now, their accusations hollow, because the evidence is mounting. The witnesses are speaking, and the truth has a voice that cannot be silenced. This is for every time you were dismissed, for every time you were ignored, for every time they tried to convince you that your reality was a lie. This is your vindication. This is your moment. They built their strength on your weakness. They built their success on your failures. They profited from your pain. But they forgot one crucial thing. The light always finds a way through the darkness. And you chosen one are that light. The pain of invisibility, it forged you. It sharpened you. It prepared you for this very hour. You learned to trust your own inner compass. You learned to rely on your own unwavering spirit. Because when the world turns its back, the only one you truly have is yourself. And now, you don't have to fight alone. The universe is aligning. The synchronicity is undeniable. The signs are everywhere. They are acknowledging your presence. They are hearing your voice. Not just hearing it, they are being forced to listen. The shame they tried to inflict, it will be their burden. The lies they spread, they will be their undoing. Their attempts to discredit you, they will only serve to amplify your power. This is more than just an exposure. It's a revelation, a clearing of the air, a cosmic reset button. For too long, the darkness has reigned. For too long, deceit has been the currency. But that era is ending. Your critics, they thought they had the final word. They thought their judgment was absolute. They reveled in your perceived downfall. But they were wrong, terribly wrong. Because the greatest strength is not in the victory they see, but in the resilience you possess. The deception was a cage, but you have broken free. The invisibility was a shroud, but you have shed it. The critics were a storm, but you have weathered it. And now you stand, tall, unbowed, unbroken. They will see you, truly see you, for the first time. Not as a threat, not as an inconvenience, but as the force you are, the light you carry, the truth you embody. This is the turning point. The moment the tide shifts irrevocably, the moment the silent scream becomes a thunderous roar, the moment the ignored becomes the undeniable. They will try to discredit this. They will try to spin it. But the truth has a momentum of its own. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be contained. It will spread. It will resonate. It will echo in the hearts and minds of all who have suffered in silence. Your pain was not in vain. Your struggle was not for nothing. Every tear shed, every moment of doubt, it was all part of the journey, leading you here, to this precipice, to this victory. The deception is exposed. Your critics are defeated, not by force, but by the sheer unadulterated power of truth. And you are finally truly seen. And in that sight lies the beginning of everything. They called it loneliness, a barren wasteland, a place of surrender. But it was a sanctuary, a sacred space, carved from the chaos by the hand of the divine. This isolation wasn't an accident. It was a design, a fortress built not of stone, but of spirit, to shield you, to refine you, to prepare you. Think of the pearl, formed within the oyster, sealed away from the ocean's rough currents, protected from the crushing depths. The irritation becomes beauty. The hardship becomes treasure. Your divine isolation is that shell. The world outside roars, a tempest of opinions, a hurricane of judgment. It seeks to drown your voice, to extinguish your light, to break your spirit. But you are not in the storm. You are in the eye of it. This stillness, this quietude, it's where you hear the whispers, the subtle nudges of destiny, the ancient wisdom that echoes within. The world's noise is a distraction, a deafening clamor that blinds you to your own truth. Consider the seed, buried deep in the earth. It's alone, hidden from the sun's harsh glare, from the hungry birds, from the careless foot. In that darkness, it gathers strength. It cracks open. It sprouts. It reaches for the light, not from without, but from within. Your isolation is that fertile soil. The critics gnaw, their words like acid. They seek to erode your foundation, to plant seeds of doubt, but they cannot touch you here. They cannot penetrate the sacred circle. Your spirit is a walled garden, protected by an unseen force. Each doubt they cast, each insult they hurl simply bounces off, rendered powerless. Their venom is absorbed by the divine presence that surrounds you. They see isolation. They see abandonment. They see failure. They cannot comprehend the power of being set apart. They mistake the silence for emptiness. They mistake the solitude for suffering. They are looking with mortal eyes, blind to the celestial architecture. You are not punishing yourself. You are not being punished. You are being protected. like a rare bloom cultivated in a hothouse, shielded from frost, nurtured in perfect conditions. This space allows your true essence to unfurl, unblemished, uncompromised. The desert wanderer, alone under the vast sky, stripped of all pretense, all distraction. It is in that raw exposure to the infinite that true connection is found, not with the fleeting approval of others, but with the eternal source of all being. Your isolation is your desert, your pilgrimage towards the divine. They want you to conform, to blend in, to be another face in the crowd. But you were not made for the crowd. You were made for the mountaintop, for the silent communion, for the revelation that comes only when the ego is quieted and the soul is given room to breathe. This separation is not a sentence. It is a blessing in disguise, a crucible for your courage, a forge for your resilience. Every moment of perceived loneliness is a moment you are being molded, shaped by a wisdom far greater than any earthly critique. You are being prepared for what comes next. A strength forged in solitude, a clarity born from stillness, a light that shines from within, impervious to their shadows. The veil tears, the illusion shatters. What they told you was a lie. Every whisper, every doubt, a calculated blow. They crafted a narrative, a cage built from their own insecurities, and you believed it. You let the bars press against your spirit, but the truth, it burns. It ignites the darkness they tried to wrap around you. See them now, their faces contorted, their power a hollow echo, their judgment a spent arrow. They built their kingdom on shifting sands, and the tide of truth has washed it all away. They sought to break you, to dim your light, but they only forged it stronger. Your resilience, their greatest defeat. Your silence, their loudest accuser. They underestimated the divine fire within, the unwavering strength of a soul awakened. This is not an ending. This is an unveiling, a liberation. The chains are gone, the whispers silenced. You stand in the raw, untamed light of your own being. And in that light, their shadows hold no power. Their criticisms fade into insignificance. They are a forgotten storm, a distant rumble. You are the calm that follows, the clarity after the chaos. Their words were meant to wound, to sever you from your purpose, but they only severed you from their delusion. This is the first breath of freedom, the taste of your own unadulterated power. They wanted you small, predictable, but you are vast. Their defeat is not your victory. It is simply the natural order restored, the divine correction. The truth always finds its way. Divine isolation. They call it loneliness. They paint it as a curse, a sign of failure. But look deeper, beyond the surface of their shallow understanding. This separation, this sacred solitude, it is not a punishment. It is a sanctuary, a divine shield. Imagine a potter. He takes the raw clay. He pulls it from the earth. He does not immediately thrust it into the kiln. First, he lets it rest. He lets it dry in the sun, away from the wind, away from the rain, away from the clamor of the world, so it can harden, so it can find its true form. This is your isolation. The sun drying your soul, the stillness allowing your spirit to set. The world, with its incessant noise, its conflicting demands, its relentless distractions, it would only crack you. It would only deform the masterpiece you are meant to become. Think of the ancient redwood. It grows tall. It stands apart, not because it is rejected, but because it has claimed its space. It has reached for the heavens. Its roots run deep, anchored in the quiet earth. It draws nourishment from the silence. It thrives in its own space. This isolation is your deep root, your connection to the unseen nourishment, the divine energy that sustains you. They see the distance. They miss the depth. They feel the absence of their interference. They do not understand the presence of the divine. This being set apart, it is a sacred pruning, the removal of what does not serve your highest growth, the branches that would drain your energy, the weeds that would choke your spirit. God does not abandon you in this space. He is the very air you breathe. He is the silence that speaks volumes. He is the unseen hand that shapes you. This is not abandonment. This is consecration. You are being set apart for a purpose, a divine assignment. The world's chaos is a distraction, a cacophony that drowns out the divine melody. In this isolation, you hear it, the soft hum of creation, the heartbeat of the universe. You are in the eye of the storm, not because you are lost, but because you are protected. The outer turmoil cannot touch the stillness within. This is the crucible of transformation, the sacred fire that refines, that purifies, that ignites the divine spark within you. You are being molded, not for their approval, but for His glory. This is the fertile ground, the quiet earth where your spirit can truly blossom. Away from the trampled paths, away from the prying eyes. Here, in this divine solitude, you learn to trust yourself. You learn to trust the divine voice. This is not a sentence. It is a blessing, a sacred unveiling, a profound homecoming to your own soul. They cannot comprehend it. Their limited vision sees only emptiness. You see the infinite, the divine presence that fills every void. This isolation is your strength, your protection, your sacred destiny. The veil is torn. The whispers become shouts. Your truth, once hidden, now burns bright. They see you. They finally see you. And in that seeing, their power crumbles. Their judgments, their doubts, their petty pronouncements, they shatter like glass. You are not diminished by their scrutiny. You are refined, forged in the crucible of their disbelief. This isolation they tried to impose, it was never a prison. It was a sanctuary, a sacred space carved out for your soul's ascension. They saw you alone and pitied you. They saw you apart and assumed you were broken. They could not comprehend the divine architecture of your solitude. Think of the desert nomad, under the vast, indifferent sky. They are alone, yes, but they are not lost. They are intimately connected to the pulse of the earth, to the ancient wisdom carried on the wind. Their solitude is their map, their compass, their unshakable truth. Consider the mountaintop hermit. Far from the clamor of the valley, they hear the silence, and in that silence, they hear the universe speaking. Their isolation is not emptiness. It is fullness, a plenum of divine presence. They are not cut off. They are plugged in to a power source beyond human comprehension. You too have been placed in this sacred grove, this hallowed ground of divine isolation. It is where the seeds of your destiny are sown. It is where your spiritual muscles are strengthened. It is where you learn to rely on an unseen hand, on a love that transcends all earthly connection. They tried to isolate you, to diminish you, to make you small. But the divine has a different plan. It isolates to elevate, to protect, to prepare you for a greatness they could never grasp. Your separation is not a sign of failure. It is a testament to your unique calling. Imagine a precious pearl. It forms in the darkness. Within the oyster shell, it is set apart from the rough currents, from the hungry jaws of the sea. Its isolation is its protection, its nurturing ground. Without that protective shell, it would be lost, destroyed. Your spiritual journey is the same. This period of being set apart is that protective shell. It shields you from the noise, from the distractions, from the draining energies of the world that would pull you down. It allows your inner light to grow unhindered, to gather strength, to mature. They called it exile. They labeled it abandonment. But it was a sacred withdrawal, a necessary retreat into the quiet chambers of your own spirit, where the true work is done, where the divine downloads occur, where your soul finds its true north. The world's judgment is a storm. It rages, it batters, it seeks to break you. But within your divine isolation, you are shielded. You are in the eye of the hurricane. The chaos surrounds you, but it cannot touch you. You are anchored to a peace that surpasses all understanding. They tried to isolate you, to make you doubt your worth, to make you feel insignificant. But they underestimated the power of the divine tapestry. They do not see the golden threads that weave you into the fabric of existence. They do not hear the celestial choir that sings your praises. Your separation is not a punishment. It is a purification. Like the alchemist who separates the dross from the gold, this time apart is refining you, burning away the impurities, leaving only the pure essence of who you are meant to be. You are not alone. You are divinely attended. Your solitude is filled with angels, with ancestral spirits, with the very breath of creation. They are your silent companions, your unseen guardians. They are with you in this sacred space. Let them point their fingers. Let them cast their shadows. Their efforts are futile. They are attempting to dim a star, to silence a symphony. They cannot comprehend the cosmic forces that are at play, the divine orchestration of your life. Your critics are defeated because they fight against the tide of destiny. They fight against the will of the divine. Their power lies in illusion, in manipulation, in the fear they sow in the hearts of others. But their illusions cannot hold against the light of your revealed truth. This divine isolation is your strength. It is your wisdom. It is your unwavering connection to the source. They thought they were boxing you in. They did not realize they were setting you free. Free to fly, free to soar, free to become the magnificent being you were always destined to be. Embrace it, cherish it. For in this sacred space, your true power is unlocked. Your victory is assured. They whispered, they judged, they tried to pull you down. Their words like poisoned darts, their laughter a hollow echo. But you stood firm. You always do. Their negativity could not touch you. It bounced off your spirit like a shield of pure light. They couldn't comprehend your strength, your inner knowing. So they attacked. They sought to break you, to make you doubt, to make you conform. But they misunderstood. They saw isolation. They saw loneliness. They saw punishment. They were wrong, terribly wrong. This separation you feel, it is not a void. It is a sanctuary, a sacred space, carved out just for you by the hand of the divine. Think of the alchemist's crucible, where base metals are purified, transformed into gold. The intense heat, the intense pressure. It is not meant to destroy. It is meant to refine, to burn away the dross, the impurities, the lingering doubts. This is your crucible. This is your refining fire. They call it being alone. I call it being consecrated, set apart for a higher purpose. Like the shepherd leading his flock, he walks ahead. He scouts the path. He shields them from danger. He doesn't walk in the middle. He walks with foresight, with divine vision. You are the shepherd of your own soul, leading yourself through the wilderness, towards the promised land. Your critics, they are the wolves, circling the flock, barking their threats, their fear, their own insecurities. They want to drag you back to the herd, to the comfort of conformity, where they can control you, where they can dim your light. But your isolation, it is your protection. It is your fortress. Walls built not of stone, but of unwavering faith, of divine knowing. They see you as an outcast, I see you as a pioneer, charting unknown territory, the first to step into the new dawn, the first to hear the celestial song, the first to feel the cosmic pulse. This journey requires solitude. It demands an inner compass, guided by stars they cannot see. Consider the pearl, formed within the oyster, a foreign irritant, a grain of sand. The oyster doesn't cast it out. It doesn't lament its presence. It begins to enfold it, layer upon layer, with nacre, with beauty, with resilience. The irritant becomes the treasure. Your challenges, your perceived isolation, they are the grains of sand within your soul's oyster. Each layer of experience, each moment of quiet reflection is building something magnificent, something precious. This sacred space, it is where your true self awakens, where the whispers of the universe become a roar, where the divine conversation becomes clear. You shed the skins of expectation, the masks of pleasing others. You emerge naked and true, vulnerable yet unshakable. They say you are too much, too sensitive, too intense, too different. They measure you against their own narrow standards, standards forged in the fires of mediocrity. They cannot comprehend your vastness, your boundless potential, your divine blueprint. This isolation is a gift, a chance to reconnect to the source, to the very essence of your being. It's like a seed buried deep in the earth. It needs darkness. It needs stillness to gather its strength, to germinate, to prepare for its glorious bloom. You are that seed, buried in the fertile soil of your own soul. The silence is not empty. It is full of potential. It is the canvas upon which your destiny will be painted. The critics, they are just echoes, fading sounds from a world you are outgrowing. Their defeat is not a battle won. It is a quiet realization that their noise cannot penetrate your peace. Their judgment cannot define your worth. You are a solitary star, burning brightly in the vast expanse of the cosmos. Your light reaches further. Your brilliance is unique. They may try to obscure you with clouds of doubt, with storms of negativity, but the star remains, unmoved, undimmed. Its light is eternal, its purpose divine. This is not punishment. It is preparation. It is purification. It is the sacred alchemy of your soul, becoming who you were always meant to be, unburdened, unapologetic, uniquely divinely you. Embrace the stillness. Cherish the solitude. It is where your power lies. It is where your truth resides. It is where your transformation unfolds. Your critics fade. Your spirit soars. You are not lost. You are found in the heart of the divine. The veil tears. It rips apart. What was hidden now gleams. Your critics shouted. They amplified their doubts. Their noise was deafening, but it was hollow. A manufactured storm. Now the truth rises. A tidal wave. It washes away their lies. Their judgment crumbles, like sand castles against the ocean. You stand, unscathed, your spirit a fortress. Their words mere whispers, lost in the wind. They sought to break you, to diminish your light. They failed, miserably. Divine isolation. It sounds like exile, like punishment, a lonely cell. But it is not. It is a sanctuary, a sacred space, carved out just for you, by a force greater than any earthly power. It's the shepherd's hand, guiding the lone lamb, away from the wolves, away from the ravines, not because the lamb is flawed, but because the shepherd sees the danger, the unseen peril. Think of the mountain peak. It stands alone, battered by the elements, yet it is untouched. Its summit pure, pristine. The air is thin. Few can reach it. Few can breathe it. Those who do see farther, they understand more. The world below a tapestry of chaos. From that height, it makes a strange kind of sense. The isolation is the elevation. The separation, the clarity. It is the pearl in the oyster. Hidden deep, protected from the harsh currents, nurtured in darkness, until it forms its iridescence, its unmatched beauty. It wasn't abandoned. It was cultivated, shielded, allowed to grow, to become something precious, something luminous. The world outside can be a predator. It can chip away. It can tarnish. Divine isolation is the shell, the protective layer. Consider the seed, buried in the earth. It is alone. Darkness surrounds it. It appears dead. Yet this is where life begins. This is where the miracle happens. The soil is its cradle, its protective womb, the pressure of the earth. It forces growth. It strengthens the root. It prepares for the sun. The isolation is the fertile ground, the necessary pressure. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. The noise of the world, it distracts. It fragments your focus. It dilutes your essence. Being set apart is a silencing, a deliberate quiet, allowing the inner voice to be heard, the divine whisper, the gentle guidance. It's the artist in their studio, shutting the door, turning away from the crowds, to commune with their vision, to give birth to their masterpiece. The false prophets, they thrive in the marketplace, in the clamor. They feed on attention, on validation. Their message is diluted, compromised. Their own spirit a shadow of what it could be. But the true seer, the one who walks with the divine, they don't need the applause. They don't seek the crowd. Their authority comes from within, from the source. Their solitude is their strength, their separation, their sacred charge. This isolation is not emptiness. It is fullness, a different kind of fullness, not filled with the opinions of others, but with the presence of the divine. It is a chalice, being filled, not with cheap wine, but with the purest nectar, the essence of life itself. To be alone with God is to be never truly alone. It is to be in the most profound company. Their attacks were aimed at your connection, at your unique path. They couldn't comprehend it, so they tried to discredit it, to make you doubt your own divine compass. But your isolation has been your shield. It has deflected their barbs. It has kept your inner fire burning, untouched by their cynicism, unfazed by their fear. This period of being set apart, it's a forging in a divine furnace. The dross is burned away. The impurities are purged. What remains is pure gold, resilient, unbreakable. Their defeat is not just their loss. It is proof of your protection, proof of your divine alignment. They fought against the current, against the tide of destiny, and they were swept away. Their power was an illusion, your strength an eternal truth. The shadows clung. They whispered lies. They fed the doubt. But the truth was a seed, planted deep within, watered by tears, nourished by every blow. It cracked the hardened earth. It pushed through the rot. And then it bloomed, a fierce, unyielding light. This was the spiritual mission, not found in gilded temples, not whispered in hushed prayers. It was forged in the crucible of your own soul. It was the battle fought when no one else could see, when the world judged, when they condemned, when they tried to break you. They saw weakness. They saw failure. They saw the ruins. They didn't see the resurrection. They didn't see the strength being born. In the deepest despair, something awakened, a primal force, an ancient knowing. You learned to breathe in the darkness, to find your footing when the ground disappeared. Every setback was a lesson. Every betrayal, a sharpening stone. Your spirit, once a fragile flame, became a roaring inferno. The critics, oh the critics, They were so certain, so loud, so convinced of their righteousness. They built their towers of judgment on the shifting sands of their own ignorance. They pointed fingers. They cast stones. They reveled in your supposed downfall, but they never understood. They never saw the true architect of your destiny. They never comprehended the power that lies dormant within. The power that only awakens when all hope seems lost. This power wasn't given. It was earned. It was wrestled from the jaws of defeat. It was woven from the threads of your resilience. It was the echo of every tear shed, the fire of every injustice endured. You became a warrior, not of the flesh, but of the spirit. Your armor was forged from unwavering faith. Your sword, the unshakable truth of your own being. You faced their accusations. You met their scorn. And you stood. They expected you to crumble, to fade away, to become another cautionary tale. Instead, you rose. Taller, stronger, brighter than ever before. The deception unraveled. Like a cheap suit, it tore at the seams. Their lies exposed to the harsh light of your truth withered and died. Their carefully constructed narratives crumbled. Their authority evaporated. They had underestimated the resilience of the human spirit. They had underestimated the power of a soul on a mission. They had underestimated you. And in that moment of revelation, their defeat was absolute. Not a victory of anger, but a victory of peace. A quiet triumph. The triumph of knowing your worth. The triumph of walking your path no matter the cost. This inner power cultivated in the barren lands of your trials became your greatest weapon. It was the shield against their negativity. It was the light that guided you through the fog of their deception. You didn't need their validation. You didn't need their approval. You found it within. A wellspring of strength that never ran dry. A knowing that silenced all external noise. The darkness wasn't an enemy. It was a teacher. It stripped away the superficial. It revealed the core. It showed you what truly mattered. And what truly mattered was your own divine spark, your spiritual mission. It became clearer with every challenge. It was to embody that spark, to let it shine, to inspire others to find their own, to prove that even in the deepest night, the dawn will always break. They tried to dim your light. They tried to extinguish your fire. They failed, miserably, because the fire within you was too strong. It was fueled by purpose. It was ignited by destiny. You are not a victim. You are a victor. You are not broken. You are remade. You are not defined by their lies. You are defined by your truth. And that truth, once revealed, is an unstoppable force. The critics are silenced. The deception is defeated. Your mission continues, stronger than ever. The veil is torn. It wasn't a gentle tearing. It was a violent rupture. The illusions you clung to, comfortable lies that shielded you, they splintered into a million jagged pieces. And in the raw, exposed aftermath, the truth stood naked. For so long, you lived in shadows, not of your choosing. You were cloaked, your true essence dimmed by the whispers of others. Their doubts became your chainsaws. Their judgments became your prison walls. They told you who you were. They dictated your worth. They tried to erase your divine spark. But in that darkness, something else began to grow. A seed planted in the deepest, most barren soil of your soul. It was watered by tears. It was nourished by the ache of betrayal. It was forged in the crucible of your suffering. This was your spiritual mission, not one of grand pronouncements or public adoration. No, this was a mission etched in silence, a pilgrimage undertaken within the echoing chambers of your own heart. You learned to navigate the labyrinth of your own fear. You confronted the monsters they had conjured, the ones they projected onto your spirit, and you found them to be hollow. Phantoms, empty threats. The power you developed wasn't handed to you. It was clawed from the earth. It was wrestled from the jaws of despair. Every insult you endured became a stone in the foundation of your resilience. Every setback you faced a lesson in the art of rising again stronger than before. You learned to breathe in the suffocating air of adversity and exhale pure, unadulterated strength. They underestimated you. Oh, how they underestimated you. They saw weakness where there was fierce determination. They saw defeat where there was a strategic retreat. They mistook your quiet contemplation for surrender. They were blinded by their own ego. Your critics, they stood on their soapboxes, their voices shrill with certainty. They pointed fingers. They cast stones. They reveled in your perceived failures. They built their own pedestals on the rubble of your supposed downfall. But they never looked within. They never understood the alchemy of the soul. They never comprehended the power of a spirit that refuses to be broken. A spirit that, when pushed to its absolute limit, does not crumble, but crystallizes. It hardens into something unbreakable, something luminous. You saw their agenda, their need to control, their fear of what they could not comprehend. You recognized the pattern of their deception, the way they twisted narratives, the way they sowed discord, the way they fed on the insecurity of others to inflate their own hollow pride. And as the truth unfurled like a banner in a storm, their carefully constructed world began to crumble. Their lies, once so potent, now lay exposed as flimsy fabrications. Their authority, once so imposing, revealed itself as an illusion built on manipulation. Their defeat was not a violent confrontation. It was a quiet implosion. The energy they had spent on tearing you down, on diminishing your light, it turned inward. It consumed them. They were left adrift in the wreckage of their own deceit. You, however, stood tall, not with arrogance, but with a profound sense of knowing. The power within you was not a weapon to wield against them. It was a light to guide yourself, a beacon that illuminated the path forward. You understood then. The darkness wasn't an enemy. It was a teacher. It was the fertile ground where your true power was born. It was the forge where your spirit was tempered. Without the trials, without the tribulations, you would never have discovered the boundless wellspring of strength that resided within you. Your spiritual mission was not about changing them. It was about reclaiming yourself. It was about understanding that the greatest battles are fought not on external fields, but within the sacred space of your own being. And you, my friend, you won. You emerged from the ashes not unscathed, but transformed. Radiant, unstoppable. The truth was your shield, your inner power, your ultimate victory. The veil ripped, torn asunder. What you thought was real a lie, a carefully constructed cage. They built it with whispers, with doubt, with their own fear. But the darkness it taught you, it forged you in its crucible. Every shadow a lesson, every trial a sharpening stone. They thought they were breaking you. They were wrong. They were waking you. The spiritual mission. It wasn't a gentle calling. It was a brutal awakening, a descent into the abyss, to find the light within, the light they couldn't extinguish, because it was born of their own darkness, a paradoxical power, grown in the barren soil of their lies. Remember the whispers, the venomous words. They were designed to poison your spirit, to make you question everything, your worth, your purpose, your very sanity. They wanted you small, contained, easy to control. But the darkness whispered back. It showed you their true faces, the fear behind their bravado, the insecurity fueling their attacks. Your critics, they stood in judgment, their pronouncements like stones, meant to crush you, to bury you. They reveled in your supposed failures. They celebrated your stumbles. They saw weakness. They saw an end. They didn't see the roots growing deeper. They didn't see the unshakable foundation being laid, the inner power. It didn't come from accolades. It didn't come from praise. It came from surviving, from enduring, from looking into the face of despair and refusing to blink. It was forged in the silent hours, when the world slept and the battle raged within. They offered you comfort, a false peace, a surrender to their narrative. But that wasn't your path. Your path led through the fire, through the storm, to a place where the only truth that mattered was your own. The truth they tried to silence. The truth you now carry. A blazing torch. The deception is exposed, not just to you, but to them. They see it now. The cracks in their carefully crafted facade, the hollowness of their pronouncements. They thought they were the masters. They were the puppets, their strings pulled by their own limitations. Your defeat was their victory, or so they believed. But your perceived defeat was merely the chrysalis, the transformation, the shedding of an old skin, to emerge stronger, more resilient, more powerful than they could ever comprehend. The spiritual mission, it demanded everything. Your faith, your courage, your very essence. It stripped you bare, left you vulnerable. And in that vulnerability, you found your greatest strength, the raw, unadulterated power of your spirit. Untamed, unyielding. They underestimated the resilience of the soul. They underestimated the fire that burns when tested. They thought they had you, broken, defeated. But you were just beginning. You were gathering your strength. You were listening to the echoes of your own truth. The darkness was not your enemy. It was your teacher. It revealed the illusions. It exposed the phoniness. It forced you to confront your deepest fears. And in confronting them, you conquered them. You integrated them. They became part of your power. Not a weakness, but a testament. Your critics are defeated, not by your anger, not by your retaliation, but by your unwavering truth, by your embodiment of the power they feared. They are silenced by the sheer force of your presence, the undeniable radiance of your spirit. The spiritual mission is not about perfection. It is about authenticity. It is about showing up, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. It is about embracing the shadows and finding the light within them, the light that is uniquely yours. They sought to control your narrative, to define your journey, but the true narrative was always within you. A story written in resilience, a testament to the indomitable human spirit, a spirit forged in the fires of their deception. This power, it is not to be wielded lightly. It is a sacred trust, a responsibility, born from the deepest wells of your being, a beacon for others lost in the shadows, a reminder that even in the darkest night, the dawn will break. The mission continues, not with fear, but with fierce determination, with the quiet confidence of one who has walked through hell and emerged not unscathed, but undeniably transformed, ready to shine, ready to lead, ready to be the truth they could never comprehend, the power they could never steal. The veil is ripped away. The carefully constructed lies crumble. Your enemies thought they had you, cornered, silenced. They were wrong, terribly wrong. The darkness you endured forged something unbreakable. It was never a punishment. It was a crucible, a place where doubt burned away, where fear was consumed. You learned to breathe in the shadow, to see without light. That inner power born of absolute isolation is now your weapon. They underestimated your resilience, your will. They mistook your silence for weakness, your stillness for surrender. But in the quiet depths, a fire was kindled, a spiritual mission ignited. It wasn't about revenge, not truly. It was about reclaiming your truth, your purpose. The mission was always within, waiting, growing. You felt it, didn't you? That persistent hum, that undeniable calling. even when the world tried to drown it out. Even when they whispered lies, they told you you were broken, that you were finished. They fed on your pain. They reveled in your despair, but their feast was your fuel. Their scorn was your sharpening stone. Every accusation, every betrayal, it added to your strength. They couldn't comprehend the magnitude of your spirit. They saw the scars, they didn't see the healing. They saw the tears, they didn't see the resolve. This spiritual mission is not for the faint of heart. It demands everything. And you gave it. You walked through hell and emerged. You faced your deepest fears and conquered them. The power you wield now is ancient, primal. It resonates with the very fabric of existence. They thought they were defeating you. They were merely polishing you, making you brighter, sharper, more potent. The deception is exposed, not just to the world, but to yourself. You see the illusion for what it was, a cage, and you have shattered its bars. Your critics stand exposed now, their motives laid bare, their petty grievances, their envious whispers. They mean nothing. They are shadows, and you are the light that banishes them. This is the dawn after a long, brutal night. The spiritual mission unfolds, not as a choice, but as destiny. You are the embodiment of resilience, the testament to inner strength. They tried to break you. They made you whole. They tried to silence you. They gave you a voice that will shake the foundations of deceit, a voice that speaks truth, unflinching, unapologetic. The power developed in the darkness is not to be feared. It is to be embraced, harnessed, directed. It is the power of understanding, of empathy, of profound wisdom. You understand their darkness now. You see why they acted as they did. But that understanding does not grant them absolution. It simply clarifies your path, your unwavering resolve. The mission is clear. The power is undeniable. Your critics have nothing left. Their arsenal is empty. Their words are hollow echoes. Their power is an illusion. You are real. Your mission is vital. Your power is absolute. The spiritual awakening has occurred. It was always meant to be. Through every trial, through every tribulation, you were guided by an inner compass, by an unyielding spirit. The darkness was not an end. It was a beginning. A profound transformation, a rebirth. You are not the person you were. You are more, so much more. The truth revealed is the truth of your own magnificent power, the power that resides within, unleashed, unstoppable. Your critics are defeated not by force, but by the sheer weight of your truth, by the undeniable evidence of your spiritual evolution. They cannot compete with a soul that has walked through fire and emerged purified, strengthened, radiant. This is your moment, your vindication. The spiritual mission continues, stronger than ever, fueled by the darkness, illuminated by the light of your truth. You are a beacon, a force of nature, and the world will witness the power of a spirit that refused to be broken. The battle is won. Not with swords, but with soul. Your soul, unconquered, undefeated. The critics are silenced. Their reign of deception is over. Your spiritual mission is your legacy. Your power is your promise to yourself and to a world that desperately needs your light. You carry the wisdom of the night, the strength of the storm, the hope of the dawn. This is the truth revealed. Your truth, and it is magnificent. The shadows whispered lies. They told you you were weak, broken, lost. They fed on your doubt, on your fear. They amplified every mistake, every stumble, every moment you felt the weight of the world crushing you. They wanted you to believe it, to surrender. But something stirred within, a flicker, a spark, born in the deepest night, forged in the crucible of your pain. This was not just an earthly struggle. This was a spiritual war, a mission ordained. They tried to break your spirit, to extinguish the light. They underestimated the fire you carried, the unyielding core of your being. The darkness did not defeat you. It refined you. It showed you your true strength. Each trial was a lesson, each setback a redirection. They thought they were burying you. They didn't realize you were planting seeds. Seeds of resilience. Seeds of unwavering resolve. The critics raged, their voices a cacophony of venom. They dissected your every move, judged your every breath. They reveled in your perceived failures. They craved your downfall. They saw only the surface, the superficial wounds. They missed the deeper work, the sacred alchemy happening within. They couldn't comprehend the power you were accumulating, the spiritual fortitude you were building. In the silence of your struggle, you found your voice. In the isolation, you found your tribe, not of flesh and blood, but of spirit and soul. This mission was not for the faint of heart. It demanded everything: your courage, your faith, your willingness to stand alone against the tide. They threw their accusations, their judgments, their scorn. Each one bounced off your growing shield, forged in the fires of adversity. You learned to trust the whispers of your soul, the quiet knowing that transcended logic, the intuition that guided you through the labyrinth. The critics shouted. You listened to the divine. They pointed fingers. You focused on your purpose. They saw your scars. You saw your strength. They heard your doubts. You felt your conviction. The deception they wove began to unravel. Their carefully constructed narratives crumbled, exposed by the sheer force of your truth. The darkness was your teacher, not your jailer. It taught you patience. It taught you discernment. It taught you the profound beauty of inner strength. The power that resides not in external validation, but in your own unshakable belief. You began to see their attacks for what they were: projections, insecurities, the desperate attempts of those who feared your light, who feared the change you represented, who feared the awakening you embodied. Your spiritual mission unfolded, not as a grand pronouncement, but as a quiet revolution within. You shed the layers of who you were told to be, and embraced the truth of who you were destined to become. The critics' words became hollow, their power diminished, like fading echoes in an empty hall. You had outgrown their noise. You had transcended their limitations. They could not touch the core of your being, the sacred space you had cultivated. This was the moment of revelation, the unveiling of your power, not a power to conquer or control, but a power to heal, to inspire, to embody, the power of authenticity, the power of unwavering spirit. They had underestimated the depth of your mission, the divine purpose that propelled you forward. They saw only the surface storm. They missed the calm eye of the hurricane, the unshakable center of your strength. You rose from the ashes, not a phoenix of revenge, but a beacon of hope. Your critics were silenced, not by force, but by the undeniable truth of your transformation. They were defeated by your light, by your resilience, by the spiritual mission you embraced. The darkness was not the end, it was the beginning, the fertile ground from which your true power would bloom. You walked in newfound grace. Your critics watched in stunned silence, their judgments rendered meaningless. Your mission divinely affirmed. They thought they had you. They built their walls high. They whispered lies in the dark. Their shadows stretched long and cold. They wanted you to break, to crumble, to disappear. But they underestimated you. They didn't understand the fire within, the unyielding spirit, the truth you carried. The moment of reckoning arrived, not with thunder, but with a quiet certainty, a dawning. The carefully constructed facade began to crack. Their fabrications unraveled thread by thread. The whispers turned to gasps. The shadows recoiled from the light. You stood not in anger, but in illuminated grace. Your presence became the undeniable proof. Your journey, the irrefutable testament. They sought to silence you, to discredit you, to bury your voice beneath their noise. They threw stones. They hurled accusations. They reveled in your supposed downfall. But the earth you stood on was solid, rooted in integrity, watered by your resilience. Their attacks became a storm, and you, the unbending tree. The storm raged, but it only served to make your roots grow deeper. Your critics found their words hollow, their arguments baseless, their power an illusion. They looked at you, and they saw not weakness, but an unshakable strength. Not defeat, but a victory forged in the fires of adversity. Their judgments crumbled. Their pronouncements meaningless echoes in the vast silence that followed. They had underestimated the power of authenticity, the enduring force of a spirit unbowed. The deception is over. The veil has been lifted. The truth, in its raw, unvarnished glory, shines through. You are not defined by their narrative. You are not diminished by their doubts. You are, and always have been so much more. This is your moment of profound clarity, a space where authenticity reigns, where your spirit is free to soar. Look at them. See their faces, the confusion, the dawning realization, their carefully crafted world now in ruins. They sought to control your narrative, to dictate your worth, but you refused to be a puppet. You refused to be a pawn. You claimed your own story. You wrote your own ending, and it is a magnificent one. This victory is not about retribution. It is about restoration. It is about reclaiming your power. It is about understanding that the greatest strength comes from within, from an unwavering belief in your own truth, from a spirit that refuses to be extinguished. Their defeat is simply the consequence of their own chosen path, the path of deceit, the path of fear. You have walked through fire. You have navigated darkness. You have faced down your fears. And you have emerged not unscathed, but stronger, wiser, more luminous than ever before. This is not the end of your story. It is the powerful beginning of a new chapter. A chapter written in courage. A chapter written in light. Let their silence be your triumph. Let their defeat be your peace. You have earned this quiet strength, this inner knowing, this profound sense of liberation. The weight they placed upon you has been lifted. The chains they forged have been broken. You are free. Truly, completely free. Feel the lightness. The air is clear. The path ahead illuminated. The critics are defeated not by your hand, but by the undeniable force of your truth. They are silenced by the brilliance of your spirit. They are overcome by the sheer power of your authenticity. This is a message of hope for every soul who has felt the sting of betrayal, for every heart that has been broken by lies, for every spirit that has been dimmed by doubt. You are not alone. Your struggles are not in vain. Your resilience is a beacon. This is a message of strength, the strength that resides within you, waiting to be awakened. The strength that comes from knowing your worth. The strength that propels you forward even when the path is unclear. You possess a power they could never comprehend. And now, a blessing. May your spirit forever be guided by truth. May your heart always be filled with unwavering love. May your journey be one of continuous growth and profound peace. May you always find the courage to speak your truth. May you always find the strength to stand in your light. Go forth. Your spirit is unburdened. Your path is illuminated. The world awaits the brilliance that only you can offer. Walk with your head held high. Your victory is not just for you. It is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. A reminder that even in the darkest of times, light will always prevail. Your story is a symphony of resilience, a soul-stirring anthem of triumph. Go and shine. The whispers end. The lies shatter. Truth, a wildfire consumes the shadows. They tried to bury you. They thought they'd won. Their venomous words, their calculated attacks, they were meant to break you, to silence your spirit, to extinguish your light. But they underestimated the fire within, the resilience forged in their very attempts to break you. Every blow, every doubt they sowed only tempered your resolve. It sharpened your focus. It deepened your knowing. Look at them now. Their faces a mask of shock. Their carefully constructed world crumbling around them. Their accusations exposed as the hollow echoes they always were. They built their kingdoms on sand, and the tide of truth has finally washed them away. Remember the nights you questioned everything. The loneliness that gnawed at your soul. The fear that whispered you weren't enough. That was their victory song, the soundtrack to your despair. But you endured. You held on. You found the strength in the quiet places, in the moments of pure, unadulterated belief in yourself, in the unwavering certainty that what they said was not your truth. This is not about revenge. It's about vindication. It's about reclaiming your power, the power they tried to steal, the power that was always yours. Their words were weapons, designed to wound, to isolate, to make you doubt your own sanity. They wanted you to believe their version of reality, a reality where you were flawed, where you were wrong, where you were lesser. But truth has a different kind of power. It's a quiet force. It doesn't need to shout. It simply is. And in its presence, all deception withers, all pretense dissolves. See their defeat, not as a triumph over them, but as a victory for what is right. A testament to the fact that light always prevails over darkness. That goodness, in its purest form, is an unstoppable force. You stood alone. You faced the storm. You did not bend. You did not break. You held your ground, and the ground beneath you became solid, unshakable. This moment is yours. Own it. Breathe it in. The air is clearer now, the path forward illuminated. Let their defeat be a lesson. A stark reminder that integrity matters, that kindness is not weakness, and that the human spirit, when tested, can rise to unimaginable heights. You are not defined by their judgment. You are defined by your own unwavering spirit, by the light you carry within, by the love you offer to the world. They sought to dim your star. Instead, they made it shine brighter. They tried to bury your seed. Instead, you grew into a mighty tree. Your roots run deep. Your branches reach for the heavens. This is your rebirth. Shed the old skin. Step into the new you. The you that has been forged in the fire. The you that knows its worth. The you that is unassailable. The world needs your light. It needs your unique gifts. It needs the strength you have discovered within yourself. Do not let this experience harden you. Let it refine you. Let it make you more compassionate, more understanding, more powerful. Carry this victory not as a badge of superiority, but as a testament to your own inner strength. As a beacon for others who may be facing their own battles. You are an example, a living, breathing testament to the power of perseverance, to the resilience of the soul, to the ultimate triumph of truth. May your spirit soar. May your heart be filled with peace. May you walk forward with unwavering confidence, knowing that you are loved, knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you are divinely guided. You have faced your dragons. You have slayed them. And in their defeat, you have found your true self. A self that is radiant, a self that is free, a self that is eternal. Go forth, shine your light. Your journey has just begun, and the universe applauds your resilience, your courage, your unwavering spirit. You are blessed, you are powerful, you are and always will be enough. The lies crumble. They always do. The carefully constructed walls of deception, built brick by painstaking brick, now lie in ruins. You watched them fall. You felt the ground shake. It was a storm, a tempest of truth that swept through the whispers and the doubts. They said you wouldn't make it. They whispered you weren't enough. They pointed fingers. They mocked your dreams. They reveled in your struggles. Their words were daggers. Their judgments, a heavy shroud. But you endured. You held on. You found a light within when all around you was darkness. And that light, it became a fire, a wildfire that consumed the shadows. It burned away the untruths. It melted the cynicism. It exposed the rot beneath their polished surfaces. They underestimated you. They always did. They saw weakness where there was resilience. They saw defeat where there was a quiet, unwavering resolve. Look at them now. Their faces a mask of shock. Their carefully crafted narratives shattered. Their authority evaporated. They are exposed, stripped bare. Their power was built on sand, and the tide of truth has finally washed it all away. You stand tall, unscathed, your spirit unbroken. This victory isn't just yours. It's a testament to the power of authenticity, to the strength found in vulnerability, to the unwavering pursuit of what is right, even when the world tells you otherwise. You didn't need their validation. You didn't need their approval. You needed only your own conviction, and that was more than enough. The path was arduous. There were days you wanted to surrender, days the weight felt crushing, days the voices of your critics echoed loudest in the lonely hours. But something deep inside refused to break. A quiet knowing, a divine whisper that told you to keep going, to trust the process, to believe in the unfolding of your own destiny. And so you did. You rose from the ashes. You shed the old skin. You emerged stronger, wiser, and more radiant than before. The scars you carry are not marks of shame. They are badges of honor. Proof of your battles fought and won. Proof of your indomitable spirit. Now, as the dust settles, a profound peace washes over you. A sense of liberation. The weight of their judgment is gone. The chains of their negativity have snapped. You are free. Truly, deeply free. And in that freedom, you find a clarity you've never known. A purpose that burns brighter than any criticism. This is your moment. This is the turning point. You have faced the storm and emerged into the sunlight. You have walked through the fire and come out refined. You have proven them wrong. Not with anger, but with grace. Not with retaliation, but with relentless perseverance. Let their defeat be a lesson for all who seek to dim another's light. Let your victory be a beacon for those who are struggling in the dark. Your story is a powerful reminder that truth, however buried, will always find its way to the surface. That resilience, however tested, will always prevail. May you carry this strength forward. May you continue to shine your light unyielding. May you always remember the power that resides within you, the power that faced down adversity and emerged victorious, the power that is deeply, intrinsically, divinely yours. Now breathe. Feel the lightness in your chest. Feel the calm in your soul. The battles are not over, but this one is won. You have proven your worth, not to them, but to yourself. And that is the greatest victory of all. Go forth. Live your truth. Embrace your destiny. For you are loved, you are supported, you are guided, and you are and always will be enough. May divine grace surround you. May peace be your constant companion. May your journey ahead be filled with boundless joy and unwavering strength. This is your awakening. This is your ascension. This is your undeniable truth.